What's up? Thank you for checking me out here on Chick with Opinions. I'm Kaniki, and on here I like to discuss this chick's opinion on everything. But first, let's take care of business. Go ahead and click like and subscribe to my channel because I'm sure you're going to enjoy all that wisdom that's espoused from this chick. I'll wait. Alrighty then. So today I want to discuss the great migration back into the workplace. Recently, the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, announced that they were bringing all of their employees back to work on a more of a traditional work week. About 4 days a week is what he stated. And this is all in the name of creativity and collaboration. But I call BS on that. In this chick's opinion, I feel there are two reasons why employers are calling their employees back to work. The first being they're paying these enormous leases on buildings and nobody's there, or hardly anyone is there. And I get that. That makes perfect sense. I mean, I don't like to pay for stuff that I'm not using. So why would a company want to pay probably hundreds of thousands of dollars on a lease and no one's coming to the building? So Bob, please. Collaboration, innovation, creativity. I'm not buying that. I mean, if you think about it, corporations boasted profits in 2021 to the tune of $2.8 trillion. Even Disney had a revenue stream of 72.98 billion. And this is over the 2020 statistics of 60.74 billion. So these companies are making money, right? I think overall, it's not about profitability. It's not about collaboration and creativity. The second reason I feel employers are calling employees back into the workplace is because they can. You heard me, because they can. Big business and our economy are intermingled. They are inseparable, really. And big business is always going to win. In my imagination, there was this CEO conference, probably somewhere in Texas, where all the CEOs got together to complain about this new employee-driven workplace. This new employee-driven workplace that resulted from COVID, right? During COVID, people were quitting their jobs in record numbers. They were going out and starting new businesses, becoming entrepreneurs. Well, this dried up the workforce. So now companies didn't have, the ability to just pick and choose whoever they wanted to work. The labor force diminished, and now the CEOs had to placate to this new employee-centric work environment. They had to placate to the idea of essential workers. They had to placate to the idea of a livable wage. Now, these CEOs did not like that. My, how the tides have changed. This $2.8 trillion profit is simply corporate greed. And this, I feel, in this chick's opinion, is the number one contributor to our inflation. It has to be. I mean, when you think about it, look at gas itself. Now, there were some forces, economic forces, that was causing gas prices to go up. But as a consumer, there'd be days that I would go out and get gas, and gas was like $3 a gallon. And then the next day it'd be $3.50 a gallon. Like, what happened overnight to cause inflation? Big business could raise the rates because people had money. Now, the days are going to say there was just too much money circulating in the economy. That because of all this surplus of money, that's why inflation had nothing to do with corporate greed. Really? It had everything to do with corporate greed. So them saying, oh, it's because too much money was circulating. Translation, too many po folk had disposable income. That's what it boils down to. Too many people now had the ability to actually breathe, had the ability to maybe go on a vacation. And they didn't like that. They liked being elite. They liked being the people that were envied. But as I often do, I digress. Let's get back to it. So corporate greed is the reason that Fed stepped in and raised the interest rates. So when they stepped in and raised the interest rates, it really tightened our budgets. Now, me and you don't have the buying power that we had a couple of months ago. It caused a decrease in demand of goods and services, which led to job layoffs and simultaneously an increase in the workforce. Even some of the people that became entrepreneurs may find themselves having to go back into the workplace because it's difficult for small businesses and entrepreneurs to compete against the big business, these corporations in a big business centric economy, right? You get that? So entrepreneurs don't necessarily have the name recognition. They don't necessarily have the clientele. So when the job labor force gets larger, resources are now more competitive. They're buying for the same consumers that big business are buying for. So they may find themselves having to go back into the workflow and into the workforce. What does that mean? In short, American culture is slow to change. There are some benefits, though. Don't get me wrong. There are some benefits to our society changing slowly. We're not rushing into things. We're taking our time, to vet things out for the most part. But it is slow to change. Throughout the history of our job force, we've held a big brother is watching you type mentality about jobs, employees, and how to effectively manage our labor force. But what COVID has shown us and shed a light on is that we can be just as productive and profitable, if not more so, from our homes as we are from our office. Ponder on that for a moment. So as long as we have these antiquated thinking people running the show, we will continue with the status quo. So happy great migration back to the office. Get your butt up and go back to work. Employers just don't like paying for offices when butts are not in seats. And with the growing workforce, they simply don't have to. They don't necessarily have to placate anymore to the employee-centric office environment. That's just this chick's opinion. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and click like and subscribe. I'm Kaniki with Chick with Opinions. It's not an attitude, it's a movement. Peace.